afternoon. I'm Shawn Yao, and this is One News Now. Malacañang has defended the controversial government procurement of medical supplies, which lawmakers said was executed with favor. For more details, we have Maricel Halili reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Mase, hi. Did Palace spokesman Harry Roque say anything about the president's alleged link to Pharmally Pharmaceuticals, which is now under investigation in the Senate?
Hi, Sean. Secretary Roque emphasized that the personality involved in this particular case has nothing to do with the procurement or the decision of the government to procure the supplies from that particular company. They said that during that time they are in need, or the government is in need of thousands of PPEs, and at that time that particular company is ready to provide what we need. That's the reason why they decided to get the supplies from them.
All right, and was there any comment whatsoever this morning or this lunchtime over, the back and forth that the president has had with some lawmakers such as Senator Dick Gordon and, of course, Senator Ping Lacson?
Well, Secretary Roque explained that President Duterte doesn't like how the senators ask questions to those cabinet secretaries invited in the Senate hearing. He particularly reacted on the personal attacks made by President Duterte to Senator Gordon, commenting on the weight of Senator Gordon. Jokingly, Secretary Roque said that maybe, Mr. President, please stop commenting about the weight of Senator Gordon because he himself is also overweight. He was planning to reduce his weight, but then the gyms are still closed now.
All right, that was pretty amusing. Let's move on to the supposed ouster of President Duterte as chairman of the ruling PDP Laban Party. Any developments there?
Well, Secretary Roque said that President Duterte is not affected at all with the decision of the other faction of PDP Laban because he believes that his faction is the legitimate PDP Laban. So the president still believes that he remains to be the chairman of the said political party, but hopefully the COMELEC or the court can decide which among these factions is the legitimate PDP Laban so that they can fix whatever confusion there is.
Right, we also have a former National Task Force advisor, Dr. Anthony Liachon, saying there's still a need for vaccines with higher efficacy rates because of the Delta variant. Did the officials have any reaction or anything to say about this?
Sean, it was National Task Force Chief Implementer, Secretary Galvez, who commented on this particular statement given by Dr. Tony Liachon. He said that he worked with Dr. Liachon for a few months because he used to be the advisor of NTF, but they decided to remove him from the task force because they see that Dr. Liachon is trying to position himself. It seems to Secretary Galvez that Dr. Liachon wants to get the position of Francisco Duque as the health secretary. So they actually belittle the statement given by Dr. Liachon.
All right, and what about these unreleased benefits of our healthcare workers and calls to double the salaries of medical personnel? Any comment on this? Any update?
Well, the DBM said that they have already downloaded the budget for the special risk allowance for healthcare workers. So it was already distributed to different hospitals, private and public. So it's up to the hospital management to give it down to the medical frontliners. As to the meal allowance of the medical frontliners, they admitted that they are still looking for the budget to pay these medical frontliners. As stated on Bayanihan 1, the Department of Health must provide the budget for the meal allowance and transportation allowance of these medical workers. It's worth 13 billion pesos. So I think Department of Health is having difficulty in looking for allotted funds for this particular allowance. So the DBM, as well as the Department of Health, is trying to look for the source to give the meal allowance and transportation allowance to these medical workers.
All right, thank you so much for keeping us updated on all those topics. Maricel Haliri reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. More than 399,000 health workers have already received their special risk allowances since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. In a budget hearing today, the Health Department said it is still asking the Budget Department for additional funds to cover more medical frontliners. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III urged House lawmakers to craft a new law that will provide SRAs to health workers who are not directly exposed to COVID-19 patients. Several health workers have been staging protests in the last few days because of their long overdue COVID-19 benefits from the government.
The interpretation cannot be left to the head of the agency because it is a law. It is only by way of legislation that this can be amended. Otherwise, the COA will run after all of our chiefs of hospitals. They will run after everybody else that allowed it.
The Interior Department is urging LGUs to maximize their contact tracers and to not allow them to perform any other tasks. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said they received reports that some LGUs have reassigned their contact tracers to COVID-19 vaccination sites. Malaya says the task of contact tracers should be limited to active case finding, especially in areas under granular lockdown. Malaya also assured local officials that contracts of existing contact tracers have been extended to December.
Nawagan po kami sa mga LGUs to return the contact tracers who were assigned to for other purposes at ibalik po sila sa kanilang trabaho, which is contact tracing.
We have more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. An opposition senator has bared that 3 executives of Pharmally Pharmaceuticals Holding Company are on the run from the Taiwanese government over alleged financial crimes. Mayan Los Baños joins us live from Rizal for more details. Mayan, how is this new piece of information going to factor in once the Senate inquiry into the procurement of overpriced medical supplies resumes?
Hi, Sean. Yes, some senators will zero in on the involvement of businessman and former presidential advisor Michael Yang on the said anomalous government's procurement of pandemic supplies. Senator Hontiveros said that Yang will have a lot of explaining to do in the next Senate Blue Ribbon Committee slated for the following week. Yang is currently the chairman of the Philippine Full Wind Group of companies, where Pharmally Pharmaceuticals is a part of. Recall that Pharmally bagged the 8.6 billion peso contract for the purchase of overpriced face masks and face shields through the DBM's procurement service. The camp of Senator Hontiveros found common incorporators between Yang's Full Wind and Pharmally companies. Hontiveros said that Yang always introduces himself as the presidential economic advisor, and allegedly the president heeds to his advice on the country's economy. She said that they need to ask Yang if he brokered the deal between Pharmally and the PSDBM. They will also tackle Yang's investment in Pharmally since he is the most influential personality in the group. Senator Hontiveros' camp was also able to get hold of information that Wang Wenlei, the owner of Pharmally International Holdings, is wanted in Taiwan for securities fraud, stock manipulation, and embezzlement. His son, Wang Zuyen, an incorporator of the Pharmally Pharmaceutical Corporation and Pharmally Biological Incorporation, is also wanted for stock manipulation. This begs the question, Sean, why the DBM is dealing with fugitives who are being tracked down by Taiwanese authorities. Hontiveros also does not believe that former Budget Undersecretary Lloyd Christopher Lau is unaware of these details. Sean, as per Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, the camp of Michael Yang has already received a subpoena from the Blue Ribbon. However, there is no confirmation yet whether or not he will attend next hearing, which will be next week, September 7. Sean?
Right, definitely still a developing story. Thank you so much for that update, Mayan Los Baños, joining us live from Rizal. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Commission on Elections has approved the resumption of voter registration in modified ECQ areas starting September 6. Spokesman James Jimenez said offices will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Voter registration booths in malls will also be reopening next week. The Philippine and United States Coast Guards conducted a joint maritime exercise at the Subic Bay in Zambales on Tuesday. Both groups performed exercises on vessel communications, search and rescue, emergency response, and others. This was done to promote security and enhance law enforcement interoperability in the Philippine territory. And Gilas Pilipinas was bracketed with New Zealand, India, and South Korea in Group A of the FIBA 2023 World Cup qualifiers. As co-hosts with Japan, the Philippines is already qualified for the World Cup regardless of results in these qualifiers. The first window will open on November 20 this year. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.